Hey guys, Trevin here, Gearshift Garage, and I'm here with Logan Nadasi, and we did something kind of fun. So he came to us looking for a build challenge, and so we challenged him to find a car that had some potential. So something really fun, something with some potential to be like a cool drift car with a $10,000 budget, and then with a 3-day turnaround. So this was a time thing. So we did it. So 3 days from from time of purchase till getting this thing roadworthy. Tell us about this build and what went into it.
All right, so basically how it started was I went on Facebook Marketplace and I was feeling like the easiest thing would be a rear-wheel drive front engine, just because of the layout. It would be simpler, easier to drop the drivetrain, just easier to work on, and the amount of time and money that goes into it to the output for a drift car or drag car or anything like that, it's going to be a lot simpler and a lot easier and more financially doable, right? So go on Facebook Marketplace and I found this. So this is a 2004 350Z NISMO. And the guy on Marketplace had it listed. He said that there was an engine knock and he had it listed for $9 grand. And he also did not list it as a NISMO. So there's a bunch of different trim levels of the 350Z, ranging from the base trim, enthusiast, and then the touring is the main one in the US that most people look for, seek. And then the NISMO is the top trim. So a bunch of different things, different internals, bigger forged crankshaft, all that. And he was unaware that that was the model. So basically what happened was I hit him up and I asked him for the VIN to see if I could run it, to see if the Carfax was clean, make sure everything was true that he was telling me, clean title, all that, and came up as an NISMO. So I drove out to Hamilton, Montana next day.
Did he not know it was a NISMO?
He did not. He had it listed as an enthusiast coupe. So that's what made me look at it and actually take it seriously. Went over, picked it up, brought it back. It had a bunch of different engine codes going on with it. It handled really weird. It was definitely pulling to the left. The alignment was all types of messed up. Got it back into the shop. It had all different types of problems. So the whole suspension on both sides of the back was blown, completely rusted out fully. So all the bushings were completely messed up. It had completely dropped through the coilovers that were on it. They had fried, compressed. It's a miracle it wasn't bottoming out on the way back, to be honest. The tires were worn up. The wheels were eaten up. It was just a complete mess, to be honest. The front bumper was destroyed. There's a bunch of other damage underneath. So the exhaust had been completely gored out underneath because he didn't have a guard on there. Throw it up on the lift, and that's when we encountered the real problems with it. So it was throwing all different types of codes. I will go to drain the oil and just straight milk came out of it. Man. But yeah, it had completely blown head gaskets. I ended up talking to the group of people that I know here locally, and I have a couple friends that have had old Z's that they built out into drift cars. And I was basically like, hey, I got 3 days to do this. What can I grab from you? Extra parts that you have. So got a bunch of stuff from them. So basically through the whole replacement process, the main thing that I was focusing on was, in this first step, getting it running, getting everything cleared, making sure that it was somewhat tuned. So I used the Alien Tech Titanium 3.0 to tune it. So I copied a Z1 Stage 2 Motorsport tune, just copied all the Lambda into there and just basically plug and play on there. And then we put Wiseco forged internals, so rods and piston heads. The crankshaft was in fine condition. There was no warping to it, nothing like that. And it's a forged crankshaft stock. So figured I would leave that off there because the plan is to supercharge it. So yeah, we're gonna be supercharging.
That'll be the next.
That'll be step 2. Yeah. Yes.
Next time we see you.
100%. Yeah. Colton from SWAE Industries, he basically went over everything, resurfaced the carbon fiber, fixed the front bumper that was in really rough shape. We got it repainted, and while he was doing that, I was under the car, so I got all the wheel bearings done because those were blown out because it's a Z. Got the whole back suspension done, so lower upper control arms. We threw Megan Racing coilovers on there, so the D2 coilovers, and then on the front, same thing, OEM bottom control arms, and then Megan Racing top control arms. And then, yeah, got a new radiator in there, got new, hosing.
Head gaskets.
All up in there, yep, brand new head gaskets.
And then you said forged internals, which seems kind of crazy to me in this time frame.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that you can do that without pulling the engine.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's one of the things about the VQs. So this is actually the first Z I've driven or built. So it was definitely a big project to just get right into it for the first time, just fully rebuilding it. But the thing that's really nice about the VQ35 platform is that how the engine is mounted, you can actually pull the oil pan down from the bottom and you can pop the heads off completely and remove the pistons without pulling the engine. And my background is Subarus, so a lot of the builds that we've done that I've showcased all over my social media are a bunch of WRXs, a bunch of Imprezas. We did a Subaru Brat. We did some stuff like that. So I'm used to that boxer engine where you have to pull it to basically do anything. So it was kind of nice. Yeah. So I didn't have to pull it. And since the crankshaft we were leaving in there, all I did was drop the oil pan, pull the heads off, take the connecting rods off, pop them out, and then that's where we put those Wiseco connecting rods and heads in there, or cylinder heads as well. So yeah, it was pretty.
You said one of the connecting rods was bent?
So one of the connecting rods was a little bit bent, and the actual like piston ring was definitely thrown. I didn't hear a super audible knock, and it was showing misfires, but it was that standard, the P0300 misfire. So it's impossible to tell whether that's a back pressure problem, whether that's a spark problem, coil packs, any of that. Right. So I didn't realize what it was until we pulled it out. But yeah, one of the rods was actually bent a little bit, which is interesting because the inside of the cylinder walls were pretty much fine. It didn't do a lot of warping or anything. We like resurfaced one of them just slightly, but we didn't have to bore it. So it was pretty much good to go. Somehow the valves were all good. So OEM threw those back on there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much most of the build. There's not a whole lot more to it other than we threw slotted and vented rotors on there. OEM, but new back brake calipers, but they are OEM for now. And then, yeah, a couple different things with the wiring. We had to rewire some stuff and then overhauled all of the sensors. So crankshaft position sensor, both O2 sensors, NOx sensor. These are notorious for having sensor failures, but the nice thing about it is there are a lot of sensors. So if you're drifting it, sliding it, having fun with it, there is, other than the actual misfire, which is rather unspecific, the rest of it is super specific engine codes.
Got it.
So you can tell exactly what's going on. There's actually 6 O2 sensors in these cars.
Dang.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
So you got it running. It works.
Yep.
You beat the challenge.
Yes.
Now the challenge is to take this to the next level. And
yeah.
So what is our plan going forward?
Absolutely. So this whole build so far and going into the future, we're working with SWAE Industries in terms of getting it like pretty, right? We got a body kit coming in, so we're gonna do a full rocket bunny kit just because it's iconic. So we're gonna throw a body kit on it, but no wings, so that'll make it stand out just a little bit. We're gonna wrap it super vibrant color.
So in 30 days, we wanna see this thing sideways with the tires lit up, drifting.
100%.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about the shop. So this is something that you're kind of getting into. You're starting up.
Absolutely.
Here in Flathead Valley,
100%.
in Montana.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So it's called Carbon Incorporated. So about a month and a half ago, we started everything up. Got the shop, got the space leased, got all the equipment in there, and we've been building basically cars every single day. So I've turned out 3 different WRXs. We've turned out an MR2. We did a BMW M3. Just base trim, like original Gen 1 M3. Right. And then we also got an import license. So we've been importing cars from Japan, and that's been where we've been making the most of our money. So we have a bunch of stock cars. It seems like we're going to be doing a couple shoots with some of those in the future. But yeah, so that's basically where we're at now. And my goal is to build things that are really unconventional and enter them into racing, is the idea. So I won't be driving them, but I will be building them. And the goal is to basically just kind of change people's minds about the strictness of what they believe is possible in automotive. So one of those things that we're going to be doing right now is we are going to be putting a rotary engine, a custom 3-rotor rotary, into a Porsche 944 that's fully stripped with a tube chassis and entering it into a WRC2 competition in October. And we plan on fully launching the shop to the public right after that occurs.
That's awesome.
So,
and then is something special happening to that car once it finishes the race?
Absolutely, yeah. So once we get that car completely done, we're going to be doing a whole photo shoot with it, just really pretty, all that sort of stuff. It'll be in Germany in October, so you're going to get the fall, the leaves, everything. It'll be gorgeous. And then we're going to have SWAE custom wrap it, so paying homage to like Porsche's racing history, as well as a little bit of stuff from Mazda, because that's kind of what we're rolling with, is like that Mazda platform. And then the main thing about it that we're going to be doing is the giveaway. So once that car is fully built, we haven't figured out the whole terms of anything yet, but we're going to be giving it away ultimately to kind of like get some brand awareness out in the public. And then, awesome. After that, we'll be launching publicly, and that will be basically our launch vehicle, is the idea.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing us the car.
Yeah.
And this build was awesome. The challenge was awesome. So we'll see you in 30 days.
100%.
And we'll see this thing again. So
for sure,
stay tuned, guys. 30 days from now, we'll be seeing a whole different version of this thing.
It's going to be very good, and awesome, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.